This video, I'm going to answer many questions about cruise life. I've literally just come off working on the ship and I got a lot to speak about. Hundreds and hundreds of texts, comments, messages, asking about my ship life and asking where I've been. So now's the time. Now's the time I'm going to answer all the questions in depth and really discuss everything. Why did I choose to go on board? Honestly, I've had a really hard year and I thought going on a ship would help me out, would give me, let me meet new people, would travel the world, would be able to do the gym, be able to just like live my own life, have my own freedom, which I soon found out that wasn't 100% case. I thought it was a good opportunity because I've been going through a lot this year and last year, and I thought I've just had a breakup and I need to get away, I need to have the travel and work-life balance. So the first question is, what ship was I on? I was on a ship owned by Hardin. Hardin's got kind of like an agency. Hardin's like kind of like an agency that like gets you onto the ships. I don't even know how to explain it, but I was on the Sky Princess, I was on Princess Cruises. They also do P&O, they do Carnival Cruises, they've got all different lines. Pay. I didn't care about the pay personally, but it was around base for retail staff. It's different for different levels, it's different for different people, but the staff was around £800 to £900 a month. That's without commission. You sometimes would get commission if you earned all the profit, but it'll probably be like £50 commission for the whole month, so you'd be earning under £1,000 a month, which I thought it was okay because the hours on board, I thought it was gonna match up with the hours at home. I thought it was gonna kind of just be like alright for the money. I could travel, I could have like a work-life balance, I could go to the gym, I could earn some money and I could meet new people. I thought, oh my god, this is the perfect opportunity. Little did I know, working hours. I'll add a picture of my 1 month, for example. So I'll give you December. The 1st of December, at sea. So that means, and think about the hours and think about the pay now. Think about what I've just told you. So I'll discuss the pay once I do the hours because I really want to go into depth. But the first at sea, so I work 10 to 9 in the morning, so 8:50 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. Sometimes after 11:30 we would stay later for certain reasons. Maybe we'd stay till 12, maybe we'd stay till 12:30. So that's more than a 14-hour day. On those days you'd get an hour and a half break, half an hour for lunch, half an hour in the morning, so it'd be about 2.5 hours off. But you'd work 10 to 9 in the morning until 11:30 to 12 in the night. There was a killer. Now we'd be in Vigo on the Monday, so it'd be 7 till 4. So that means the shops are not open 7 till 4. The shops won't be open. So that means we likely wouldn't work. But some cases, like in Germany, when we went in Germany on the 30th and the 31st, we done an overnight stay in Germany. The 30th, I wasn't allowed off ship, so I wasn't allowed to go and explore, and I'll tell you about that very soon. But the 31st, Hamburg, we had a fire drill. So we had a fire thing to do. We had like it was about 45 minutes. And then we had to work straight after that for a couple of hours. So that means even though we was doing a stop at the port, we still had to go and do other things, not just open the shop. So this is what I'm describing. So Vigo, back to the rota, it'd be the 2nd, would be 7 till 4. So that surely means we can go off the ship, yeah? Because the shop's not open. But sometimes they'll tell you the day before, oh no, you need to work tomorrow, you need to work 8 till 10, you need to work 10 till 3, you need to work whatever, they'll say something. You need to do an hour, you need to do a fire drill, you need to do this. They might say something, you know? So you might get lucky and have a full day off. Whatever, anyway. So if we're in Vigo 7 till 4, you would then have to work 4 till 11:30/12/12. I'll just say 11:30, but just know sometimes the hours will go over. So I do 4 till 11:30. But obviously I'd have to be ready by 3. I'd have to be, so you wouldn't have the full day really to see the world, to see Vigo. So we do 9 till 10, 9 a.m. till 10 in Lisbon. That likely means we won't be working, which is good. But again, they might get us to work because it's such a long day. They come up with these shit, you know, they come up with this plan. At sea, that means 10 to 9 in the morning till 11:30. Then function, I don't know how to say it, That's the 5th. It'd be 8 in the morning till 6. We'd be in that country. So that means we'd technically work 6 p.m. till 11:30 in the night. And then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sea days, because then we'll go to America. So every sea day, there's no rota. So every sea day, you'd work 10 to 9 in the morning till 11:30. So that'd be 6 sea days in a row. Just keep this in mind, 6 sea days in a row. Every sea day you work, you don't get rotated off, you don't get time off, you don't. The itinerary is your rota. Every time we're at sea and we're not at the port, you have to work. There's no day off, there's no rota, there's no set, like, oh, you work the 6 hours and someone takes over, or you do this, or you do the mornings, you do the nights 1 week, you do afternoons, you do the lates 1 week, you have this day off, you have that day off. The rota, there's no rota. The rota is the itinerary, which is shocking. But your pay is always the same. Your pay is always going to be £800 to £900 a month without commission. Your pay is always going to be the same. Doesn't matter if you do 60 hours 1 week. Doesn't matter if you do 80 hours 1 week. Just keep that in mind. So I worked out in December. If you really want to work it out, we'd have 1 day off. 1 day off, because we'd be in Lisbon until 10 p.m. and that'd be the 3rd of December. We'd have 1 day off by looking at this. There's no overnights, there's no full days other than that. So you'd have 1 day off in December, and you'd still only be earning £800 to £900 a month. If I was to do these hours and I divided them, that's around 75 hours a week. 75 hours a week. Let me get my phone. So imagine I do 850, so 75 hours a week times 4, basically 300 hours. Let's be good, let's do 70, let's not bitch about them that much, 70 hours a week times 4, 280 hours in 1 month. Divided, so 850 we'll say, divided by 280 hours. You can see for yourself. £3 an hour. If you divide that, £3 an hour, you don't get hourly wage, you don't get this, you don't get overtime. It's illegal, basically, what they're doing in the UK. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to be charged £3 under minimum wage, under apprenticeship wages, under every wage. It's slave labour, and that's why I left. This is the main reason I left. £3 an hour, under £3 an hour, if I'm doing the maths right. I know it's under £5 an hour you're going to get. You think I'm going to sit on a ship and work for under £5 an hour? It was actually 74 hours 1 week. I actually worked it out. Divided by 200. 200 divided by 74. £2.70 an hour in 1 week. In the UK, I'd be earning £5,000 for that many hours in December. £5,000 to £6,000 in December. I've heard that the restaurant guys, the people in the catering, they don't get days off. They have to work for £1,300 a month for basically every day of the week, every times of the week. Which is, it's disgusting and something needs to change. Next topic. How did I hear about the job? I looked online, hard in retail. They said there was a perfect work-life balance and blah, 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 blah. I went through a stage, so I went through an interview on the phone, then I went through a video thing where they all went together. No, I went for a call, and then I went for a video interview with a woman, which was really nice. She was really nice, girl from Bristol. And then I went on a group Zoom call thing that obviously everyone was on there, and we had to do some tasks and things, and then obviously we'd be able to go through there. The process getting on was very difficult, very stressful. You have to get a visa, a USA visa, you have to get health certificates, you have to go through the training courses, you have to get your medicals, your MMR vaccination information, you have to get your COVID information, you have to go through loads of steps, you have to fill out your forms, you have to fill out your date of birth, your information, like your home life, your parents, they ask for uniform sizes even though they make you pay for the uniforms, so you have to pay for uniforms and they reimburse you up to £170 I think for uniform. So it's a lot of steps. It was about 6 or 7 steps you have to go through. You don't have really any communication with them. It's all through email. They don't really call you. They don't really help you. They don't really support you. For example, I didn't know I needed a certain health certificate. I thought my health certificates were my MMRs and things. There was so much you had to go through, so much information you had to fill out, and so much process you had to go through that for someone new starting, you'd expect to have some help. You'd expect to have some guidance rather than just emails over. You'd expect someone to be like visually helping you, because they employ so many people, they just don't give a fuck. They just boom, 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 you know. And that's my own opinion. That's my with the whole situation. But they then assign you some tasks. They give you some options of what you wanted to do. I said I wanted to go to America. They give me some options in America, and I flew over. They pay for your flight, which is really good. They pay for your hotel the night before. So if you do if you don't go through Southampton, because obviously it's a port in Southampton, if you fly over, they pay for your hotel the night before. But one thing, the hotel payment failed, so I had to pay for my hotel, and I'm still waiting for the money back. But I went to America, and I didn't have my health certificate, so luckily enough they paid for my flight back the next day. But it's so much you can forget. There's so much processes you need to go through. I genuinely didn't know I needed this certificate, so I had to come back and get a health certificate. And at that stage of my life, I was like, oh my god, there's so much going on. It's just too much. But I was like, no, I can enjoy. I'm gonna have a nice healthy balance. I'm gonna meet new people. I'm gonna explore the world. So I'm going through a lot. I just needed a distraction. I left my job because of this. You know, it's intense. I now am jobless. You go through all this process. The health certificate I found out about last. You paid for all of these visas, £185 for the visa, £100 of these, £100 for your travel to go and get London and Birmingham to go and get these visas and things. You might not get the money back if you don't join the ship, if you fail your health certificate, if you fail your health test. So I just spent about £600 on everything to get on the ship. Luckily I passed the test. But then they give me one from Southampton, which I understand why they don't want to be paying for my flights, which I appreciate the fact they paid for my flights. But I understand they wouldn't want to pay for someone's flights if they just went all over there and they didn't have the right information. So there's obviously less risk when you're coming from the same country. So I joined Sky Princess from Southampton. So that was hours, and that's how I got onto the ship, which just sounds very bad, but guys, it's my honest truth, and I can't say nothing else. I'm not the type of person who bitters about people. If that's the life you want to go for, that's the life you want to go for, I commend you for it, but we'll get more into depth. What was my cabin like? My cabin, I just share a room with one other person. Luckily, he was really nice. But, you know, me being me, it's quite difficult. Like, I need to go to certain hairdressers, I need to go to certain places. Like, it's hard for me to be able to find good people that actually respect me because I'm different, you know. But my cabin mate was from Colombia. He was really nice. It was very small cabin. Apparently certain job roles like the catering and things were even smaller cabins. We had our own bathroom. Apparently certain people have to share bathrooms with the next doors. So 4 people, 2 people from each cabin share one bathroom. So there's 4 people sharing one bathroom for the whole term, the 6 months you basically work in there, 6 to 8 months. I think that's completely illegal. That shouldn't be right. Like the fact that other people get certain cabins over other people and other people have to share bathrooms over other people. Everyone should be treated fairly and treated the same. Like, I don't understand how that's even something that happens, you know. And the people you share cabins with, you'll be in the same area as the people you work with, which is a benefit. So I'd share my cabin with someone I worked with, which is good because I get to see him every day. And I knew who he was. What was my areas like? Staff rooms, food areas, and bar. So we'd have our own little gym with no windows. It'd be nowhere near as good as the guest gym, but obviously it was a gym, and I appreciated the fact we had a gym. We had our own bar, which would be like a little area where you can go to after work. Because you're working till half 11 most nights, like, you don't really want to go to the bar and you have to get up again at 8. Like, it's like, what's the fun? What's the like communicating and getting to know people for like half an hour and you need to go to bed, you know. It was just like kind of pointless to me. But the bar was good. It was not really it didn't really feel like freedom because it was kind of like enclosed in. It wasn't as nice as you think the bars would be. The crew bar was really not that nice. Like, it was alright. It was decent. It had a seating area, it had a bar, it had a TV thing you could listen to the nights and movies now and again. But it wasn't anything like you'd expect, you know, like it was just a bar, like a normal like seating area, like basically like a kids party room. That's all I can explain, like a kids party room. But this is true for it really. Our food area, we had one restaurant that we could go in. I was told that before I left, the week after, we'd be able to go up to the guest restaurants, because obviously when you guest restaurants it's like nicer and things, but our restaurant that we had for the staff, it was enclosed, it had no windows, it was, I'm not gonna lie to you, flies in there. They give you more like curry plates, they didn't really like let you have that much choice. It was always pizza, they always the same thing. Sometimes when it was port days when we was in different countries, because obviously all the guests were off ship, they probably give you a bit better food. So sometimes I noticed like they begin better food but then at sea days you'd have the worst food. There was not much choice for salads and things. There was not much choice for cakes and things. There was like probably like one starter cake out for the full day. Nothing really changed. Flies, quite a lot of flies in the rest in our area, to be honest with you. It was quite a big area to eat in, which was really beneficial. You'd obviously have to go and wash your own dishes and go and like pull them out for the cleaners. You can't just leave them here like normal people. So obviously you're still working and doing stuff even when you're not working, you know, and I get why I'm only gonna bitch about that, but that is what it is. The food half the time was like a 5 out of 10, not gonna lie to you. Like, it wasn't very hygienic for a cruise, you know, it wasn't. It was quite a lot of flies there, and it were not that many, but I did often see some, you know, but it'd be open certain times of the day. It was good that it was open in the night, it was good it was open in the morning, in the afternoon, it was good it was like all different like breakfast, lunch, snacks in the night. It was quite good, but the snacks wasn't snacks, like it'd be the same as what was in all day, it'd just be the leftover food, which is like they don't give any new things. If it was in the late night people, it'd just be like the leftovers, like, do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be anything good. They said sometimes we are allowed to go up to the guest restaurants, but obviously on my cruise was full capacity, so we couldn't even go into the guest restaurants. We always had to use a crew restaurant. The guest restaurants are usually on top deck, and you usually have a bit more freedom, a bit more windows, like you can see the sea, you can feel like you're actually on a ship rather than just in an industrial warehouse. But I couldn't get to eat there, but obviously I know from the guest areas, obviously it's really good food and things, but I don't understand why they're treating the guests different to how they treat their staff. I understand the food sorted and everything, and you need to keep everything down, but like, it was alright. I'm glad they fed you for free, I'm not gonna complain. But there's certain things you think like, back home I can eat 10 times better, but obviously you have to pay, I know that, but obviously it's good food for free, never complain, but just needed more choices and more options for people who were maybe was on a diet, maybe was healthy, didn't want on Indian saucy things every day, you know. But yeah, the gas food sometimes come down is really good. Okay. So our corridors and things, this was the other question. So it was, could I go to the guest areas? Like I just described, you couldn't eat in the guest areas. Certain times of the night maybe you can. Like I think it's like 8 o'clock in the night, or like you can't, like it's just weird, like certain times you're allowed to do stuff, certain times you're not. Guest areas, I wasn't allowed on top deck. When you're not in uniform, you're not allowed to be walking around any of the guest areas, so you can't really have any fresh air when you're not working and stuff. Like sometimes late in the night or 12:30, I'd go to the gym for the guests, which is up on top deck, so just feel a bit more fresh air. I could get out and walk around the top bit for a bit, but people would always be looking at you and be like, "Are you working? What are you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking like, there's no windows in my cabin, there's no windows in the corridors you walk down, it's just blue corridors like you're in hospital. There was barely any windows, so I never felt like I was like enjoying the work balance life of getting fresh air and things. Like at home you can get fresh air, you can open the window, you can go out the street, but like there I was like, I felt restricted. I felt like there wasn't much opportunity for me to go and get some freedom, you know, like there was always tell me, oh, you're not allowed to go out here because of this, and I didn't know how to get out and never walk around, and I didn't know how to, I was just stuck in these corridors with no windows, and I just felt like, oh, this is just a lot for someone who wanted to have a bit of like a healthy balance in life. I wasn't just saying I wanted to go there to travel because I knew where to work, but then it's like, I barely ever saw outside, you know? Like, for example, certain levels of people on the boat would be allowed to go in the cafes, would be allowed to go and get a coffee somewhere, but if you was a certain level and you didn't have the three stripes on you, you wasn't allowed to go and buy coffees in certain areas, you wasn't allowed to go in certain shops. I'm like, that'd be illegal in the UK. Everyone's treated as the same. How come, because I haven't got the three stripes, I'm not allowed to go and get a coffee from a certain area? It's just very weird how they go about things. I felt like I was like being watched all the time. I couldn't just chill and like put some comfy clothes on and go and have a drink in the night in the public area, or I wouldn't be allowed to go for a walk and just walk past everyone to see shows or whatever. You wasn't allowed to do none of that. Like, I wasn't told I was allowed to do none of that. Not sure if it's different elsewhere, but like, felt really restricted. And the fact that for my time on board, I wasn't really seeing anything good. I wasn't allowed to go like, surely allowed to like do like stuff that normal humans do, like after work if it was a show, after work if I could go and have some fresh air and have like a drink up on top. Like, it just felt like it was just too late to do something, or you're not allowed to do something, or because of this capacity you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to do that, you can't do that because you're nowhere now, you can't wear these flip-flops for this area, you can't wear the ball. And I understand health and safety on so many things, but like, why can't I go and have some fresh air in certain places, you know? But yeah, so I felt like I didn't really have that much freedom on the ship. It was nice to get off the boat. It was nice to, obviously, they'd have a free shuttle to be able to go to the towns and things. You would just jump on, which is really good. We went to Germany, Hamburg was really nice. It's nice to explore when you can, but you only get a certain amount of time to explore when you can, you know. Like, again, in the UK, I know you work like 9 till 4, 8 till 5. Then you get 5 till 10 to go and explore. And I know it's not the same as seeing different countries, but then would I rather get paid 3 times as much and just save and go to a country when I can afford it, you know? For people in countries like India, there was lots of Indian people on there. How do you say, like Colombians, like Spanish, like people from America. There was lots of like people from like countries where that was good money to them, but I don't get how, I'm not saying I'm no better, but how they working like dogs. I couldn't do it. I commend them for being able to do it if that's the life they want to live, but back home I can get 3 times, 4 times as much, and I feel bad that they have to work like that and think that's normal to be able to work that many hours and get paid such little. In their country is fine, but I just think, how is it such a difference in my country compared to their country? Like, we get taxed, I know that. There's no tax on the ship, there's no tax for the pay, but I don't understand how. I just felt bad. I said I commend them, I said I appreciate how you can do this, like, hard work, and they've stuck to it. But for me, I know I seem spiteful, I just couldn't stick to that. Like, I don't want to seem like a bitch, I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful. I'm glad I got experience, I met a lot of nice people, but I don't know how they worked that many hours and stuck to it. I don't know how, like, even the days where they was like, I'm tired, I can't do this, and like one of my roommates had like a bad leg, and my manager's an email 6 hours after he had the 6 hours off because he had the bad leg to say he's allowed to work, so he had to phone the room and say, oh no, you have to come back to work because the email said that you're fit to work now. I'm like, how? It's slave labour, it shouldn't be allowed. Like, the hours are not set every week, and that's what I thought about it, really. Like, yeah, you get to go and explore nice countries, and I was going to go to Puerto Rico and Miami and all these places, but not having one day off in December, I'd rather not go to these places. I'd rather some freedom and some health in my life. Like, I took the UK for granted, and I know it's beautiful countries, I'm not going to lie, if you like that, but it wasn't a work and travel life balance. It didn't have that all together. It was more just like a work, and then, like, I'm saying, like, well, how if we only get four hours off today and we have to work like the next 3 days? They're like, oh, that's good, some departments don't get no days off. I'm like, it's illegal. I'm telling all these people, like, those from different countries, I'm like, that's bad though. Like, why are you saying, oh, it's fine, we get 4 hours off tomorrow? Why are you sat here like, I said, I feel bad for you. Like, don't you understand that's bad? Like, in the UK, we'd get, like, the night. We'd get maybe the morning and work in the night. Like, in retail, like, that's how it works. I was like, why do we all have to work these hours? Like, I just, to me, it's the system is fucked up and it shouldn't be that way. So that's my experience. Sometimes a very bad experience, but honestly, it's my experience. I'm not saying don't go and do it, because certain job roles in the shift, you might get better hours, you might get better pay, you might get a better everything. But starting off, if you're gonna go and do it and think it's gonna be a perfect balance, it's not. And I got off within 10 days. Maybe I'm too weak to handle it. Maybe I needed to cut it out for longer, because a lot of my staff would say, no, cut it out for longer, you can do this, you can do this, you can grow when you're there for so long, you can apply for better jobs. And I understand you can go up and go up and go up, but I don't need to climb the ladder here to get paid 3 times as much. I can just be on base and I can just be staff and get paid more. And I know I want more for my life, but I decided I need to come back, I need to learn real estate, I need to come back and travel, get a visa to a country and just live in a country and just travel that country and then work and then come back and then do it again in a different country. That's what I'm going to do, rather than going through doing a cruise life. I know it's harder doing it yourself and trying to figure out yourself. But luckily I've got my family and I've got friends from different countries that can help me. But my cruise life for retail staff, I don't think it's worth it. If you can go on catering, if you can stick the hours, I swear I don't think it's worth it. Like, hand on my heart, I'm not bitching about the company, I'm not bitching about anyone I met. My managers are very nice, the staff have been very nice. I think they're going to reimburse me, like the email. I'm not sure I'll leave it, I'm up to date on that, but obviously I couldn't get my reimbursement back even though I didn't stay for the month. But there's so much more I can speak on. If you want the questions, just drop them below. Let me know whatever questions you want to know about working on the ship, and I would be happy to answer them. I wish I was exploring, I wish I could cut you out, but for the hours and for the pay, I was just like, it's just no point. I wasn't on you for the pay, but when the pay is so bad for the hours, I couldn't go to the gym certain time. Like, who wants to go to the gym at 12 o'clock in the night and then be back up again at 8? Like, it was good that you could work where you live, 100%, no wasting the money on petrol, not driving everywhere, no. But I'd rather be getting taxed 5 times as much and getting 3 times as much. It's the truth. But yeah, that's my sit down and talk with me about my cruise experience. I know a lot of you have asked. Sorry, it's a long video, but it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to get just. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please remember, don't be a stranger. Like, subscribe and comment, and I'm back on YouTube. But yeah, see you on my next one.